This is the home of the money pick. First game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Cleveland Browns. Thursday night football, week 7. I'm going Browns to win in the cover, and I'm sure a lot of money is going to be on the Broncos. And I understand this -3.5 is a bit much for a Browns team that is banged up, and that is banged up psychologically as well. I'm curious to see what Bridgewater will do, but I think it will be next to nothing. Yes, Denver has explosive wide receivers, but they don't have an explosive offense. There's a big difference, my friends, and I think some of you guys miss that in the analyses. And another thing you guys miss in the analyses is you got to look at this Broncos front 7, and they're great at rushing the passer. They're great when they're playing with a lead, but they can be pounded. They can be pushed. Browns run it. Chubb gets going. We'll see if Chubb is able to play this week. Either way, Browns are going to be able to smash this football, run this football. They win and cover in a sloppy Thursday night game. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. Cincy is +6.5. Money, money, money. Money, Cincy to cover, Baltimore to win. Yes, we've been hitting with both of these teams when a lot of people have been doubting both of these teams. I understand. But I just have to bounce on Cincy this week again. I did the same thing last week, took criticism, but I just have to stick with the guns and fundamentals. Baltimore can run this football, but I do like what I'm seeing out of this Bengals front 7. They are improving. Now I know hitting Goff and beating down Goff isn't a lot to hail your hat on, so to speak, but I really think this Bengals defense is improving, and I think we see it against the Ravens. As for this Bengals offense, they're very balanced. Even when Joe Burrow doesn't have his A game, this team is still able to move the ball. They're still able to run the ball, and they got nice play-action passing game. And I think the Bengals make 2 or 3 explosive plays. The Ravens make 2 or 3 explosive plays. Ravens win this game by a field goal, but Cincy will cover. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers. Darnold at the New York Giants. Giants are +3. I got the Giants to win in the cover, and with more information from the injury report, it's a borderline money pick. This Carolina team was absolutely terrible against my Minnesota Vikings. They completely gave my Minnesota Vikings a victory, and it's because Sam Darnold just isn't good enough in this league. Stop the rubbish. Stop the hype. Sam Darnold cannot play in this league, and he's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in activity, and I think that makes a difference. Daniel Jones will make more plays than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is at 0-level confidence, and Christian McCaffrey, he's not coming back. I'm sick of people talking about Christian McCaffrey. He is not coming back. It is more likely Saquon plays for the Giants than Christian McCaffrey. I think the Giants play good defense. I don't think Darnold makes any plays, and that's why I like the Giants +3. I think the home field advantage will help as well. Next game, we got the Washington no-names at the Green Bay Packers. Washington +9.5. I'm going Washington to cover, Green Bay to win. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys thought I would go Green Bay to win in the cover, but we're going to see a lot of lopsided point spreads this week, and I'm going to attack them. It's just based on what I've seen on film, and I think Washington might have a response. I think they'll be able to get a pass rush on Green Bay. One thing people have been overlooking this year is this is the worst pass blocking offensive line Aaron Rodgers has had during his time in Green Bay. I think that rears its ugly head. As for Taylor Heineke, you never can have a lot of confidence on him. That's why this isn't a money pick. This Green Bay defense, you can pound them, but has Washington really gotten the run going? I don't think they get it going. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes in here with a kill. I think the Packers win by a touchdown and call it a day. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. Kansas City is -5. I got Kansas City to win, Tennessee to cover. And you can't bet against Tennessee because this is one of the most physical teams in the NFL. Not because they have great offensive linemen or great defensive linemen. It's because they have Derrick Henry. And that's what you're going to get this game. You're going to get 30-plus carries to King Henry, and you're going to see what happens. And what happens with that keeps Pat Mahomes on the bench. I think the Chiefs need to win with a late drive. I think the Chiefs win it with a late field goal because I think Henry goes off again. I mean, I don't like talking about stats, but just look at the rushing yard race in the NFL, and that capsulizes everything I'm saying. King Henry is a force of nature, and we already know that. But you want to know what else is a force of nature? This Chiefs offense. They get going strong in the fourth quarter, and it is dangerous picking the Titans. Even though I am picking them to cover, it is dangerous picking them because this defense can't cover anyone, and you're facing the wrong guy if you can't cover anyone. Titans cover, Chiefs win. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons off the bye week at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins plus 2.5. I got Dolphins to win in the cover. I called out Brian Flores before the Jags game last week. I hope you guys heard that message and bet with Urban. But I think Brian Flores responds this week. I think this is more about him than Tua. I think this is more about Brian Flores than Arthur Smith, or I think this is more about Brian Flores than Matt Ryan. I think Miami will have a good scheme here. I think they will get 2 turnovers on Matt Ryan. They will win the turnover battle this game, and they will win. Now, Tua didn't look too good against the Jags, but he didn't look too bad as well. Atlanta's defense has its holes. Atlanta's defense does look a little bit better this year, but I'm not sure that problem's fixed. I think if you give up over 30 points to Taylor Heineke, you're pretty vulnerable. Miami wins and covers. I think a lot of money will be going with Atlanta, but you guys are just a week late on it. The money should be going with Miami. Miami wins and covers. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. Jets plus 7. Money. Borderline money pick. And I say it jokingly, but this is a borderline money pick. I got the Jets plus 7. New England to win. This is one you have to subscribe to my Patreon and wait till Sunday because I have balls the size of granite boulders, but I don't know if I have the balls to put real money and pump real money on the Jets this week. But the fundamentals are there. Jets get a bye week. The Patriots just had a grueling overtime game with the Dallas Cowboys. And I know the Patriots, they look good, okay? And it was the same thing against Tampa Bay. But what did they do the next week when they went to Houston? How did they look against Houston? And don't the Jets have to do something here? Aren't they sick of being Bill Belichick's whipping boy? Aren't they sick of being the redheaded stepchild? Zach Wilson comes in here. I'm not expecting a lot from Zach, but he has shown some life. He has shown some vigoration for this Jets offense. I think Jets gets just enough on offense to cover, but the Jets defense gets a few turnovers. I think they're able to hit Mac. This Patriots offensive line is very, very vulnerable. I think you can hit Mac. Jets will just hit him enough. Jets cover the 7. I think New England wins late, similar a la to the Houston Texans game. It is in Foxborough, so always be cautious. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Los Angeles Rams. Homecoming for Goff. We got Detroit plus 15.5. This is just a Vegas adjustment to us beating them. So the spreads are crazy this week. I got Detroit to cover, Rams to win. But there isn't a lot of science. A lot of you guys were higher on me than Detroit in the past 2 or 3 weeks. I think you guys were wrong about that. But also, you guys are probably going to be a little bit lower than I am with Detroit. I think Detroit sucks. I think they got problems. Jared Goff is an absolute disaster at quarterback. But I think this team is at least showing fight and showing effort. I think they can find a way to cover this. Jared Goff hasn't been making enough plays. This Lions team is trash, but Jared Goff hasn't been helping them out on offense. He's missed a lot of wide open guys. And you got Tyler Hawkinson, and Jared Goff always overthrows and airmails balls to him. I think Goff plays a little bit better. I don't know how seriously the Rams are going to take this game. Like I could see the Rams winning by like 10, 13 points. I just can't see the Rams covering this 15.5. You have to remember, in the NFL, 15.5 is a lot. And I have a friend who retired in Belize, Marty. He's just would always bet Detroit plus 15.5. He ate off these spreads. The math favors the team with the plus 15.5. Just need to say that. Rams win, Detroit covers. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Las Vegas Raiders. Vegas -3. I called that upset last week. And now I'm going to say money, 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 money. Vegas wins and covers. Now, we've liked the Eagles all year, and I like what Hurts is doing. But I don't think this Philadelphia defense is physical enough to stop Josh Jacobs if Josh Jacobs is healthy. Now, I think there will be a little bit of an emotional letdown from the Raiders. We saw how they came in last week, just looking for blood. That's how they came in last week. The intensity was at 100 out of 100. I think they start slow this game. I think Philly stays around in this game, and Philly might even have a lead at halftime. But I think in the second half, that's when the Raiders take over. Too much running the ball, too much play action. Carr's been phenomenal this year, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league off play action. I think that's how the Raiders attack Philly. I don't think Philly gets a good enough pass rush. Philly's defense can be damn stingy if they get a pass rush. But with the run pass balance of Vegas, I don't think they get a good pass rush. Vegas wins and covers. I don't think Hurts does too much on offense. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears. The Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chicago's plus 13, 12.5, depending where you're placing your bets. I'm going Chicago to cover, Tampa Bay to win. With Tampa, this is more about Tampa Bay. Just put the Bears over here for a second. This is more about us talking about Tampa Bay. A lot of these spreads with Tampa Bay aren't about the X's and O's. They're not about Brady against the Bears defense. They're more about Tampa Bay's motivation level. We saw what they did to the Dolphins, but we saw what they did to the Eagles and Patriots. We don't know what type of Tampa Bay team we're going to see. I think they come out. I think they play good in the first half. There will be garbage points from the Bears. And one thing you have to remember about this Tampa Bay offense, they do struggle with physical defenses at times. And one thing the Bears defense is physical. And this Bears defense is very, very underrated. That's why I like the plus 13. As for Tampa Bay's defense, they turn it on and off. That's just how this Tampa Bay defense is. I think Fields gets a few points in garbage time. Chicago plus 13. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Arizona Cardinals. Houston plus 18.5. I got Arizona to win in the cover. This is very tough. I absolutely love big point spreads, the plus 10s, the plus 13s, but this plus 18.5 is a bit too much for me. I'm not sure Houston can cover. Because you could talk about explosive teams in this league. You want to talk about the Bucs. You want to talk about the Bills. You want to talk about the Chiefs. But you better have the Arizona Cardinals in your next breath. And I think that is the difference in this game. It's just too much explosion, too much Kyler Murray. This Texans defense is going to be on the field the whole game. That's the problem. This Texans defense is better than the stats say, and it's better than people think. That's why you have to respect every team in this league. But one thing I don't respect is Davis Mills. One thing I don't respect is this Texans offense. They leave this defense out on the field vulnerable. And it's going to be in the desert. It's going to be hot. You're going to need to drink your water. You're going to need to breathe. And the Cardinals throw a lot of different schemes and formations at you on offense. You need that time on the sideline to adjust. The Texans defense won't get it. They will get overwhelmed. I will pick the Texans to cover the first half spread. If you really, really are a degenerate gambler and you need to have action on this game, Texans in the first half. But I think overall. Zona covers this 18.5 spread. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Check out my Patreon, link in the description, only $5 a month. Let's get to the Sunday night game. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers. San Fran is minus 3.5. I got San Fran to win in the cover, but I feel like this 3.5 is a bit too much for us to make it a money pick, and I think the spread should work down. Colts are playing better football. Carson Wentz is getting going, and that game against the Ravens happened, and I don't think the Colts will be able to live it down. That's the type of game that destroys seasons. But still, it shows how dangerous the Colts are. And the Colts have a good front seven, and they're good against the run. That's what San Francisco does well. And I'm worried about the San Fran quarterback situation. I don't know who's going to play. I don't think Shanahan knows who's going to play. But I will tell you one reason why I like San Fran to win in the cover. I think their defense makes more big plays than the Colts defense. The San Fran defense is still a top 7, dare I say, even a top 5 defense in the league. Now, the secondary isn't too good, but the Colts aren't a team that are going to drop back in 5, 7-step drops and really work your secondary, work your deep. That's how you have to attack the 49ers. You have to throw deep, and you have to be aggressive against this defense. I don't think the Colts will. San Fran gets a ton of stops. I like San Fran to cover the 3.5, but just keep in mind that this will drop because there is some momentum with the Colts on the betting market. So wait till it drops to 3, then get San Fran to win in the cover. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks. Saints -5. Seattle getting Geno Smith again. I got the Saints to win, but Seattle cover. This is just too many points. And this is a reaction to us winning money. It's just betting due to Sean Payton and the Saints defense. They've been carrying us all year, but we have to lay off. We have to know when to lay off. So yes, gambling's about picking teams and picking winners and being smarter, but sometimes gambling's about what you don't bet. And I don't want you guys betting this game because it is going to be very close. It's going to be unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to see from Geno Smith. He didn't look too bad against the Steelers, but he did show why he's not a starter in this league. Let's be completely honest about it. And he's facing a Saints defense that is nasty, has an attitude. And did I mention the Saints defense forces turnovers? I think Geno turns it over. But also, I don't know if the Saints offense gets into full gear. And I think going on the road with this crowd noise plays a part. I think the Saints have to wait late in this game. I think the Saints win it with a late-minute field goal, last-second touchdown drive. The Saints are going to have to work in this game. They pull it out in the fourth quarter, but I love Seattle to cover. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. This is the best gambling show on the internet. Hit the like button. Thank you, guys. Let's get this money. Week 7.